And so I should
Well,
start.
welcome everyone to our Wellness Wednesdays, and I'm thrilled to have our speaker today is from Adventist HealthCare. It's Kathleen Crowley. She's the EAP Clinical Supervisor. I'm not sure what EAP means, but Kathleen, maybe you'll just want to give a brief introduction and your wellness tips. And welcome everyone. Please mute yourself. And welcome, Kathleen.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So EAP is the Employee Assistance Program. Smaller businesses and larger businesses have these as mental health for their employees. So for Adventist Health, but also I supervise for about 80 external organizations have us as their employee assistance program, so that folks that are experiencing some short-term mental health needs can get this free benefit through their employer. So we've had quite a challenge this year with our employees' mental health. And Margie and I were just talking about, you know, what a challenge it has been this year. And so with the brief time that I have, I wanna cram in a whole lot of information about some skills that I have come to know and have realized that I've incorporated a lot of them already in my life. But I thought I'd start out with arguing with you because, you know, way to make friends and influence people. Dale Carnegie has had such an influence on my life. I thought that I would, I put out there that you don't have stress. There is no stress. Right? Nobody has any stress. What you really have is a reaction to a perceived threat. Fair? So don't hate me yet. I'm going to go on and explain just a little bit further. But a perceived threat is the single cause of stress amongst all of us, and we experience it and encounter it with finances and work and people at work, our customers, our employees. They're getting on my nerves. There's too much work, this COVID thing. There's just so much that we could blame that is causing our stress. But my argument is it's the way we take it in. It's the way we allow our bodies to react to a perceived threat. And I'm not talking about, oh my gosh, there's a bomb, we should all run. I'm talking about our everyday sort of things, right? But even with that bomb, there is an emotional and a physiological reaction that we take in when there is this threat or this perceived threat that comes before us. Fair? So it's not our environment, and we all work in a variety of settings. And so you could throw at me, yeah, but my boss, yeah, but my employees, yeah, but the market, yeah, but COVID. And I'm going to argue back, because I'm really good at that, ask my children, about the idea of it's how our bodies are going to react to all these things, right? And so it's a learning curve for many of us. Some of you may already be doing some of this. But I want to put out there that just bringing this to our awareness, like anything, you know, when we admit we have a problem, right? So this is the same philosophy. When we admit that maybe there isn't always everything else is the stressor, but the way we take it in, we got half the battle solved. So you're welcome. I'm glad that I helped y'all with that. But it's more than self-care. Not that self-care isn't essential, right? We were talking, Patricia was telling me, you gotta move. We all have lately, because of our remote work and staying locked down and that sort of thing. We're all very sedentary. And so self-care is essential, and moving every day is essential. And the older I get, I have learned how essential that is. But it's more than just that. And if you want, it's part of self-care, right? So it's important to eat healthy. It's important to exercise. It's important to engage in all these activities. But what I'm about to lay out for you is a bit more. The self-care actually, it fuels us and it allows us to continue to move forward in high demand situations. But I want to talk to you about 5 skills that I've come to really understand and also realize, gee, I do a couple of these things already. So my hope is to give you these five little niblets of what I've learned, in hopes that moving forward through these very difficult times, through all that is going on, COVID and social injustice and elections and inaugurations and all that, that we take it in starting today differently, and to allow you to understand that there's always hope. Yeah. So the first skill is self-regulation. So this is an intentional and conscious monitoring and relaxing of your body in the context of a perceived threat. What am I talking about? So I'm talking about somebody just came to you with bad news about your business, and your initial reaction is to tense up, get mad at that person, at the messenger, or get mad at the world, at the universe. Instead, I propose to you that you self-regulate. You pay attention to what's going on around you and bring it inside. And how is my body taking this in? Can I relax? And is that, deep breathing? Or is it what Eric Gentry calls wet noodling? So, and if you will, just, relax all your limbs, relax your entire body. It's really difficult when your body is physically relaxed. When you take inventory head to toe and relax everything, it's hard to be stressed. So this is an intentional awareness of relaxing your body or deep breathing, because just doing that is relaxing as well. And then the perceived threat becomes just that. Okay, I'm going to be calm. This helps me to move forward. The next is what's called intentionality. And again, this is from Eric Gentry, and he talks about his 5 skills of resilience. But the intentionality is creating a space or a pause in between you and that perceived threat. So somebody comes into you into your virtual office and gives you some really ugly news, and you create a space or a pause. Now, I do this again with my own children. They spill grape juice on my white carpet, right? Your initial, pre-Kathleen would have been, are you kidding me? Right? You would have reacted. Instead, now with my gift to you, again, you're welcome. My gift is creating that space, right? Creating that pause. This gives you control, and it gives you intentionality. It gives you the idea of, what is it that I want to convey here? So it gives you a moment to say, who am I? How do I want to come off? Right? Do I want to be that jerk? Or do I want to be someone that can take this in and try and figure it out? And that doesn't mean that you have to react either. It could just mean, I'm going to create this space, and I'm going to need a minute. I'm going to walk away for a minute and just elongate that space, right? So then the third one, I'm watching the clock because there's so much information, and I'm cramming in a lot into a little bit, is what's called perceptual maturation. And this is the way you look at things. I beg your pardon. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. Huh? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. So that same child that spilled the red juice on the white carpet, if you create that pause, if you wet noodle, and you change the way you look at that child. I mean, is the child really bad, or did something accidentally happen? Now I've got some insight. I've created space. I'm relaxed. How much better am I to move forward? Yep. So, or somebody comes into you and says, we just lost a client. Yeah. Or something has happened in your business. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to create a space so that I can be intentional about the way I want to react. And I'm going to change the way I look at this. Is this a failed business thing, or is this an opportunity? Fair? Then fourth is to connect and support. So here's the idea of making sure you have a social network. And by that, I don't mean Instagram and Facebook. I mean, do you have people? You know, who are your people? Do you have somebody that you can call in the middle of the night? I mean that. We all need that person. You need to have somebody that you can connect with when you really need them. And that means training this network of people too. Maybe, you know, 1 or 3 people that you've got in your network, and training those people to be able to give you feedback that you can handle, but isn't always, you know, poor you, and, you know, or, you know, somebody who can compassionately confront you, that can help you through it. Right. But there also needs to be an understanding, hey, you know, just so you know, I can't handle this right now, but can we talk about it tomorrow? Right? You have to have that understanding with your network as well. And I encourage you, if you don't have this network, Margie and I were talking about this right before the call. COVID has done nothing if it has not increased the idea that we all need good mental health. And so if you don't have this network for yourself, then, you know, if you have an EAP, great. If you don't, you need one, give us a call and I'll get you in touch with our business folks. Call your insurance. Call somebody that can get you the help that you need. I implore you during this time to do that. And fifth and finally, the self-care and actualization. So this is the self-care piece that Patricia was talking about: getting up and moving, taking walks, being out in nature, letting the sun hit your face at least once a day. Even on a cloudy day, walk outside and just breathe in some fresh air, you know, move. This is the bubble bath. Now, this is the difference between this and the self-regulation, is that you can't take a bubble bath in the middle of a crisis, right? Oh, excuse me, I got to go take my bubble bath. I got to relax. This is what you do on your time to take care of yourself. And that's whatever it is that fills you, those sort of things that take care of you, those sort of things that lift you, so that then they motivate you for the next day to get back to work and get back and be activated at work. Make sense? So there's your 5 skills. You've got self-regulation, intentionality, perceptual maturation, connect and support, and then that self-care and actualization. So again, I'll close with this. You don't have any stress. It's how you take it in. And when you take it in and you're aware of your body and you're aware of how you're going to react, you got this. And always remember, you need your supports. I don't care what you believe in, but if you have ears and a mouth, we were put on this earth to be heard and to talk, right? I'm a little early. Any comments? Any questions?
I want to thank you so much, Kathleen, for these talks. They've been building and building each week. We've been picking up more nuggets, so I really thank you for that. One of the things, what is the number 3? Perceptual, what's that second word?
Perceptual maturation. So maturation. So that's just maturing your perception of the way you look at things. So when you're able to kind of reframe something, you know, the glass is half full.
I typed it wrong in the chat, so ignore what I wrote earlier. I was like, what? But does anybody have any questions for Kathleen?